Athletes here in total for these championships from 55 different nations. They're competing for not only World Championship medals but also 53 quota places for the Tokyo 2020 Paralympic Games. I am Jamie Stangroom and it's my pleasure to be your host for this final, and I am joined by a shooter himself who goes by the name of Michael Talia Pietra of the United States of America.
Yes, sir. Thanks for
How
having me.
are you, Mike?
I wish you're a nice guy, Jamie, but I wish I was out there instead of being here. But I'll do my best.
Thank you for doing your best, and you are referring to our position. You can see the range there on your screen. We're in a little kind of bunker underneath where the audience are sitting, so we're watching the action play out on a couple of screens here. And it's cold here, isn't it? You've brought hand warmers, which I'm very grateful for. Thank you for providing me with one of your hand warmers. It's chilly, which isn't what you expect when you come to Australia, is
No,
it?
you think of Australia as being sunny and warm and nice beaches, but we came at a time where the weather decided to get a little bit chilly.
Yeah,
14 degrees Celsius.
You can see the evidence of that on your screen now. 14 Celsius. It's a bit drizzly outside as well. How do you think these conditions will affect the play out there for the athletes?
Well, when I shot this morning in the precision and rapid fire, there's a reason I brought the hand warmers along, because cold fingers, number one, your nerves react more slowly, and you don't have a good feel for the trigger, which is very important, obviously, in pistol shooting. So it all depends. I mean, these guys, they shot some pretty good scores today. I think the temperature actually might have gotten a little bit colder in the afternoon, so we'll see how it affects them. If it's going to affect one of them, it's going to affect all of them. So it should be across the board.
Sure, and you can see that they're all wrapped up pretty warm, aren't they? They've all got like body warmers on.
Layers and layers, yeah.
And I mentioned Sydney because you are experienced here. You've been here before. You are a pistol shooter yourself, and for anybody who doesn't know, you actually took World Cup gold in this event, in this very range. When was that now?
2015, September of 2015.
Good to be back.
Yeah, I was hoping it was a good luck charm. It didn't work out that way, but it's a beautiful range. Always like coming here. Australia Shooting always does a good job putting on good events.
So today didn't go your way, but you have had you've had a good year. Let's talk about the Pan American Championships in Lima. How did that go for you?
Yeah, that was about a month ago. We went down to Lima for Parapans. Did fairly well. I won this event.
Fairly well. Champion.
Well. Yeah. I won this event, and I took bronze in the 10-meter air pistol event.
Yes, you've had a good year. But today, how did what went wrong today? I guess for you.
The precision, the first part of the match, precision portion, the 30 shots of precision. Mentally, I just couldn't focus. And if you don't have your focus, shooting is probably 90% mental and 10% physical.
Well, the sighting series.
If you don't have that high level of focus for every shot, you can't take a shot off. It's going to be bad results. And I just couldn't get my focus to where it needed to be. Didn't sleep very well last night. Was up at 3, 4, 5. I'm not sure why, but it was one of those nights where I just couldn't sleep very well, and it showed in my performance today. Yeah,
sleep is obviously in all walks of life important for one's focus. And we have got our 8 athletes getting ready. The sighting time's beginning to compete in this final. We can see one of your teammates on screen at the moment. That's Gong. So Gong, let's talk about quota places, because Xiao Gong.
2-meter rifle. So we came here not necessarily with expectations, but we certainly to bring some quotas back for Team USA. Some countries do it differently, where if you win the quota, your name is attached to it. Our country does not do it that way. So even though a child won the quota,
he won't necessarily go to Tokyo.
Correct. His name isn't necessarily on it. There's a selection process that.
And when does that begin?
That's a good question. We haven't been notified by the coaches exactly when it starts. It's going to be over the course of certain matches, and I don't know if this one is the first one of that, but I think it's 3 matches. You average the total over those 3 matches, and that's how you go through the selection process.
So will you compete against each other in your own kind of internal competition, or is it sort of based on how your year averages or something?
Yeah, so the Olympic team for Team USA does it a little bit differently.
Stop.
But they have an
Unload.
actual selection matches. I don't think we're going to have special
Please lay
matches
down
for
your
the Paralympic
pistols
shooting team. I
and
think it's
turn
going to
and
be
face
maybe
the spectators.
Sydney, Elaine next year, and one more competition, maybe Lima in next year.
Right, we'll come back on to quota places
Yep.
because 3 more were distributed, but not necessarily to athletes we're about to meet in this final. We'll talk more about that in a moment, but the time has come to meet the 8 finalists here in the P3 Mixed 25 meter pistol SH1 event, and our announcer here in Sydney is Shaq. So we'll be handing over to Shaq in just a moment, and he'll be introducing the audience here in Sydney.
Ladies
and
and
you at
gentlemen,
home, wherever you are on
good
this football we call
afternoon,
Planet
and
Earth.
welcome to you all
We're
to
broadcasting
the
live
Sydney
on the Paralympic
International
Games YouTube
Shooting
channel
Centre,
and the World
the
Shooting
first
Parasport
competitions
page on
of the
Facebook as well. But you knew that, right? Because
2019
you're presumably there
World
watching us.
Shooting
But tell someone
Parasport
else.
Championships.
where
My
they
name
can
is
watch
Shaq,
us.
and this
We're
is
live
the
and the
event
final
for
is
the
about to begin. So let's go over to Shaq to meet
Mixed
our
25
finalists.
meter pistol SH1. The 8 athletes are in position for the final, and this is how they line up. Please give them lots of encouragement and a round of applause.
Shaq working the audience already.
He's good at that.
He's a pro.
And so here
He's
they
done
are,
this
your
before.
8 athletes in this match. On firing point A, a bronze medal at the 2013 European Championships in Croatia and 7th place at London 2012 for Serbia, Živko Papaz.
As Shaq mentioned, he did make the London Paralympic final, taking 7th place.
On firing point B, representing the People's Republic of China, silver medal at the 2018 Para-Asian Games in Jakarta, Yang Chao.
There are 2 shooters from China in this
Yep.
final. One
Not
more
a
for me.
surprise.
A little later. Yeah,
On
more of a surprise, there's not
firing
more.
point D, representing Sweden, the 2014 World Champion, Rio 2016 silver medalist and 2-time World Cup gold medalist, Joachim Norberg.
He's done a bit, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's a good friend of mine actually too. He's a pretty good shooter.
You seem close with quite a lot of the
On
finalists. They
firing
walked
point
by
E,
us as they were going out
Ukraine,
to
last year's
compete,
World
and you were
Championships bronze medalist
fist pumping,
and
high
5-time
fiving.
World
Yeah,
Cup gold
He's-
medalist, Alexei Denisov.
Another
We're
friend of
all-
yours?
Alexei, yeah, yep, he's a good friend of mine as well. We're all pretty close. I mean, that's one thing about the
On firing point F,
Paralympics is
representing Poland,
there's good camaraderie
silver
amongst
medal
most
at
of
the
us.
2018
That's good. That's
World
good to
Cup
see.
in France, Szymon Szowinski.
And I know you know Shimon as well.
Yep.
He was quite surprised to see you here, sat next to me commentating.
I
wasn't
think
he,
a lot of
actually?
the guys were surprised. Maybe they're
I think they're scared.
On
They're not
That's what
looking.
you
Yeah,
might
they
say
looked a
about
little
them.
scared as well. Yeah, all the stories I could tell.
Lining up in his first international final, representing the United States of America, Gong Xiao.
They skipped him.
Yes, we have missed our athlete from Korea, Park Chul, so I think someone will let Shaq know that, and we will go back. Gong will have his moment, but it's not yet.
On firing
It's not
point
yet, so
G,
here we go.
representing the Republic of Korea, silver medalist at last year's World Championships in Korea, Park Chul.
There we are, we're back on track. Now Park Chul gets the welcome he
And on
expected.
firing point J, representing the People's Republic of China, he's the current Olympic champion, the current
gold medalist in this
Para-Asian
event.
Games champion, and the defending world champion, Huang Xing.
He's got it all to defend, basically, isn't he?
Yeah, and oddly enough, that's the guy that I beat here in 2015
The
to take the
chief
gold medal.
range
Was
officer
it?
for
Yeah.
this final is
You've got
Len
previous
Creek.
then, you guys.
That's why I was hoping to make the final.
You'll get there again.
And the
You'll
jury
battle
member
it
in
out
charge of
together
this final
again, I'm
is
sure.
Sharon Reynolds.
And we did talk about Gong Xiao of the USA
Yes.
earlier. He's in his
So,
first final
ladies and gentlemen,
also
it is
taking that
the
quota place
first
as
of
well.
many
Let's just clear up the
competitions for
quota place
Sydney
chat before the final
2019
starts.
World
So
Championships,
we mentioned
which, as of
Gong
this
for
year,
USA
the
taking
World
one of the 4
Championships in
quota
shooting
places.
parasport will take
The
place
only other
every
athlete in
2
the
years.
final to take a
And
quota
also,
place is
from
a
these
friend of
World
yours,
Championships,
all
there
friends
will
of yours
be
pretty much,
53
Papaz of
quota
Serbia. So
places given
Živko
away
Papaz does
for
take
the
a quota
Tokyo
place as well.
2020
And then
Paralympic
2 more
Games.
athletes. who aren't
From
actually
this
competing in the
competition
final.
right
So
here was
this is
quite
mostly
a lot
because
of
a lot of the athletes
in fact,
competing
6
have
of
already
the 8
got
finalists
quota
have
places.
already
Korea, for example,
won
are
quota
one
places
away
for
from
their
their
nations.
total
max.
Which means that they
max
could
quota.
not
They've
win
already
another
maxed
one.
out the
Once
male
an athlete
quota
wins
spots,
one,
and they've
they
got one more
cannot
left,
win
which can obviously
another
only go
quota
to a
place.
female
So,
athlete. So
before the
we
final
have
even begins, we can
Koran
confirm
Yomak
that from
of
this
Turkey,
competition,
who actually finished in
Serbia,
11th. So
USA,
Turkey take a quota
Turkey,
place
and
there.
Azerbaijan
And
have won the
also
4 quota places.
Yelena Taranova of Azerbaijan as well. So that is USA, Azerbaijan, Turkey, and Serbia, who take the first quota places from these World Championships. So that's the, I don't know, the housekeeping out of the way, I guess. Actually, it's not out of the way. Let's talk about how the devil this works. So if you are new to or higher is classed as a hit, and the eliminations will begin of the lowest rank after Series 4, and basically that continues after every series until the bronze medal's been decided after Series 9, and silver and gold medals after Series 10. And if we end up with a tiebreak at any point, then the athletes in question, they fire tie-breaking series, don't they?
Correct, until the winner is decided.
Yeah, so that's when it gets exciting for the audience, but probably you're at your most tense, aren't you, when you're competing?
Yeah, I mean, when I competed here in 2015 against Huang Chao from China, I mean, my heart felt like it was coming out of my chest.
Really?
You know, and that's when the sports psychology stuff kicks in. You work with sports psychology on strategies to deal with high-pressure situations. This being one of them, certainly a final is a very high-pressure situation. So yeah, you just go back to the breathing and the keywords and try to focus your mind on very specific things, and that's probably exactly what a lot of these guys are doing right now.
And there's a lot of similarities in terms of the rules with Olympic shootings we mentioned. There's a lot of similarities with the preparation and the psychological side of it as well. But what differences are there with this event and the Paralympic?
It's also going to be streamed live.
Yeah, so we have
page
classification
for World
systems
Shooting Parasport.
because everyone has maybe a different injury or a different disease they were born with, a different disability, so to speak.
And his guest commentator today,
like me being a chest level paraplegic, the backrest of my chair can be higher than somebody else that has a lower level injury. Like you see some of these guys that are amputees, below knee amputees, they're sitting on a stool.
And
that would be an SH1A shooter. You see some guys that are standing. Again, an SH1A as an alpha shooter. Then you have SH1B as in Bravo. That's somebody that can have a backrest, but it has to be lower. I'm an SH1C. My backrest can be higher. In pistol shooting, you only have SH1 classification, A, B, and C. In rifle, you'll get into SH1 and SH2 shooters. So that's that's really the main difference. Otherwise, we like you can see on the screen right now, he has a loading block where he can rest his gun while he's loading the magazine, because only one of his hands is fully functional. So they allow for tools like that to aid in the loading of the pistol to make it safe. So they have a loading block to rest the pistol in.
And we are about to start the first series of 5 shots.
Yeah, getting off to a good start is always a good thing.
First series, ready.
You feel a little bit nervous the first couple series, but again, go back to those keywords, your breathing, calm down a little bit, just focus on what you really need to focus on, and getting off to a good start is important in a final.
Yeah, you don't want to be playing catch-up from series 1 on, do you?
No.
Although there are some slow burners out there, aren't they? Like, consistently.
Yeah, that's true, but again, jumping out to a good start is always good. It kind of eases the pressure as you go along.
Yeah, well, Gong has hit his first 2, as has Norberg. Yeah. I'm still trying to gauge how impartial you're going to be during this final.
Well, I know all these guys, so some of them better than others. But yeah, obviously it would be nice to have my teammate on the podium.
Are you rooting? So you're torn. Are you going to root for your barmates or your teammates?
Well, Team USA first. But the good thing for me is I've got a lot of guys that I can cheer for in this final. But
should end up a winner.
So that was the end of the first.
So as you'd expect after the first series, there's a lot of athletes tied out there, but we do have an outright leader. It's early days, of course, but that is Papaz, who hit 4 out of 5, one more than Gong and Norbert, who are in second place, and 2 athletes tied in 4th, and 3 athletes tied in 6th, which is what you expect after one series, isn't it? A lot of ties.
Good start for Papaz.
American Gong. Just to let you know, ladies and gentlemen, we do now have earplugs.
You look at the 2 guys. You look at Denishuk from Ukraine, Wang from China. Only 1 hit. I mean, they have 3 more series before elimination starts. Those guys are going to pick it up. I have no doubt they're going to pick it up. They're consistently in finals. They're consistently good shooters, so they'll pick it up.
So with Gong personally, we mentioned it is his first final at an international event, and he's up against a lot of experience out there, a lot of medalists. How do you think he's going to handle that inside? At least he's not showing much on the outside, but how's he doing inside?
He's a pretty stoic young man. He's a 22-year-old young man, and he's my roommate as well for this trip. So he's just a pretty calm guy. I a lot of times I think being your first final, you may not realize that this is kind of a big deal. This is World Championships. He's in a final. He may not realize, how big of a deal this is. He's going into it, just doing what he does. Hopefully, he stays calm and performs well.
Is it possibly a danger, though, that going in knowing you've got the quota place, could that almost lead you to take your foot off the pedal a little bit? I mean, you're an athlete, you shouldn't do that, but do you know what I mean? Because obviously you go into the finals usually and they're still up for grabs, and that's still alongside a medal what you're kind of aiming for. Yeah.
No, I don't think so. Me personally, we're all competitors. You get into this situation with the other top 7 shooters, you want to win. Having the quota is nice.
The second series,
but a World Championship medal
stays with you forever.
That's a fact. I mean, that would definitely actually make my focus even sharper and wanting to compete and win that medal. So I don't think he's taking his foot off the gas at all.
We've had 2 series now. Papaz still leading the way. In fact, that lead's increased. It's 2 now over second place, which is currently Yang of China, and then 3 athletes tied in 3rd. Gong is in joint 7th with Sawinski of Poland. But it's tight. They're one behind the 4 athletes tied in 3rd spot.
Right. You really, to be in medal contention in this event, you should average 3 hits per round. You do that, you're going to be most likely gold, silver, certainly bronze. It hurts to have zeros. That's the thing that hurts you. You have to at least get 2 hits really to be in medal contention.
Here we go again. This is series 3 now. So 1 more after this before the first elimination will take place.
And even that first round where Gong, my teammate, started out well with 3 hits, that alone, all of a sudden he's in second place. That alone can kick in a bunch of nerves, gets anxious. He hears his name announced, by Shaq, and it does affect you. It does make you a little bit more nervous. So this being his first final, that could certainly happen, as well as some of the other competitors as well.
The sport's obviously changed over the years in terms of music being played and having announcers. So would a young shooter like Gong, would he try and incorporate that into his training, to his preparation?
We all do.
Even if it's just listening to music, your own personal music?
Yeah, we all do. I mean, you want to try and simulate the exact conditions that we're going to be competing in, so it's tough to do, simulate that prep.
Well, we are 1 series away from the first elimination, and Gong has some work to do. He is in 8th place, but only 1 behind Sawinski, so they both had a low scoring round series there, and Sawinski is 2 away from 2 athletes tied in 5th place. Meanwhile, at the top, Papaz still there, but just 1 ahead of 2nd place. And actually, there's 3 athletes now in that position, so it's still close out there. It's anyone's final still.
Yeah, you bet. I mean, Chow definitely has to get a good round here to stay in the final. Simon as well. Simon is relatively new to this 25-meter event. He's not in the normal cast of characters that I see in the final for 25 meter. He's a very good shooter in precision. I think this is his first time in a World Championships where he's made the final in 25 meter, but he's a very good shooter.
Here we go. It comes down to this series, potentially anyway, to decide 8th place.
Yep.
Of course, if there's a tie, we will have a tie-breaking series.
Simon's got one hit already, so he's up 2 on Chow. Not a lot of action going on here. The guys are getting a little nervous, I think.
Xiao Gong yet to hit.
Yeah. Simon's got 2. Yeah. There you go.
1 for Xiao Gong.
Shivko's got 1.
Stop.
Well, there we go.
There he goes.
The biggest hitter was actually Simon of Poland, Simon Sawinski, so he is safe.
He's safe.
It does mean with a total of 4 hits that Xiao Gong does leave the competition first in 8th, but it's been a great day for him still. I'm sure he'll naturally be disappointed to be leaving now, but at the same time, it's soon going to sink in that he's just qualified for his first final and won a quota place for his country.
Yeah, I'm sure he's quite happy of the results that he achieved here today. Made the final, got a quota, first ever World Championship. So yeah, I'm sure he's quite happy.
Yeah, he's done a great thing for his country, as you said. It doesn't necessarily mean that he will go to the Tokyo Paralympic Games, but it's a team sport as much as anything, I guess.
Yeah, I mean his name isn't
deep
attached.
Down, you're all in it for yourselves, aren't you? Of course.
Well, it's a team sport, but we compete individually here. Yeah. So yeah, I mean of course we love to see our teammates do well, but when it comes down to it, you put in thousands of hours of training. This is an individual sport.
There were 5 athletes there who hit 2 during that 4th series. Papaz is still in the lead. It is still a one difference, I should say, in the 2nd place. Then Zuk and Pashin, unless there's a tie-break situation.
There you go. Norberg's got 2. Simon's got 2.
Yang looking in a little bit of trouble with 1 currently.
Yep.
Tied with Sawinski, but it changes quickly. Papaz has hit 3.
He's pretty solid. Simon too. Simon's got 3 as well.
Yep.
Wang from China.
Stop.
Nice, 4 hits.
Wow, we have
4 hits.
One of those good old-fashioned
three-way tie. I love it.
So we've got a lot of experience out there, but as you said, for Simon Sawinski, this event is new for him.
Yeah, I think he's only been shooting this for about 2 years, maybe 3 years. And he's a very good shooter in the precision events, but this rapid fire is totally different than the precision event. If you're a good precision shooter, it doesn't mean you're going to be a good rapid fire shooter at all. It takes a lot of timing, trigger timing, and focus on the front sight, picking up the front sight where you need to. But he's a really good shooter, and he obviously has excelled at this over the last couple of years.
Well, he finds himself in a shoot-off scenario with Norberg of Sweden, also Yang of the People's Republic of China.
Yep.
So this tie-breaking series, we may have to have another one.
We might have to have another one, right? Considering there's 3 people. You bet. Yang jumps off to a little bit of lead there with 1 hit. Another one. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, so 2 for Yang, 1 for Sawinski, 1 for Norberg. Yang is going really well, isn't he?
He is, yeah, 3 for 3. 3 for 3. He's pretty focused.
Norberg 2, 1. All 3 misses there, was it?
Yeah, all 3 misses. Simon needs 1 here, and he needs a miss from Norberg to stay in. Yeah.
4 for Yang, 3 for Norberg, 1 for Sawinski.
Yep.
So with his total of 10, it does mean that Simon Sawinski of Poland does lead the competition next in 7th place. But as you said, this is a great achievement for him, really, as a sort of relatively newbie to this discipline.
Yeah, and I believe he's probably already has his quota. Otherwise, he would have won one in this event. So he's already got a quota. So. But it's always good to make a final and get that experience, and I'm sure Simon wanted to do better than that, but
Still, the final goes on, and we are live from the Sydney International Shooting Centre. My name's Jamie Stangrim. I'm joined by USA pistol shooter Michael Tagliapietra, and this is the P3 Mixed 25-metre Pistol SH1 event World Championships. So, looking at the top, it's still Papaz. He's been leading since Series 1, hasn't he?
Yeah, games. But I think he was 7th or 8th in Rio at the Paralympic Games.
Yeah, and he
so
was 7th in London.
Yeah, so he's shooting quite well here. It's good to see a new face at the top of the leaderboard here.
Yeah, well, he's 2 ahead of Hwang in joint second, along with Park of Korea, and it's Denis of Ukraine. Well, the table changes now because the
Denis
series
Shook,
is on, but we're
hit.
looking at 6th place.
I was watching. I was practicing next to Zhivko the other day, and in the rapid fire, he was hitting a lot of center tens. So
yeah,
he's definitely on point here. Yeah, Denis Shook's got 3 though. He's closing the gap.
He is currently on 1. That's the same for Yang, the same for Hwang. It's just
There you
changed. 2-2-2 for the 3 shooters I just mentioned. 4 for
4
Denis
for
Shook
4.
now.
Yep.
We haven't had a 5 out of 5 yet, have
No, we have not. I fear my friend Mr. Norberg is another shoot-off.
Had our first 5 out of 5. Denis is claiming it, and he's the joint leader now with Papaz. That's the first time he's had to share the lead. So yeah, another shoot-off. Talk us through it, Michael.
Well, like these are the pressure situations where, I mean, a final is nerve-wracking enough, but now to stay in, you've got to get probably at least 3 hits here, and we'll see what Jewel Park and Norberg can do.
Yeah, well, Park did take silver at last year's World Championships. We talked about our athlete from Sweden earlier as well.
These guys are both very experienced guys. Yeah, silver medalist. Joachim was silver medalist in Rio in this event, and Mr. Park has been around a long time, very successful.
Yep, so the 2 athletes are in the shoot-off now to decide 6th place.
Wouldn't surprise me if we have a multiple shoot-off coming out of this, because these 2 guys can definitely hit some center tens.
Should I have brought an overnight bag?
What's that?
Should I have brought an overnight bag? Could this go on a while?
Yeah, at least you'd be happy I gave you the hand warmers. We might need them.
Although they're cooling down a bit. We need them microwave down there.
I've had those for about 8 hours, so that's...
They've done well then. That's a good shift.
Right.
1 for Norberg, 2 for Park.
Yep, Joachim needs to pick it up here. There you go. It's all tied up.
Okay, it comes down to this final shot now to decide 6th place, or we go again.
Another shoot-off. It's possible. Oh, another shoot-off.
Okay, we go again then. This is deciding 6th place. Meanwhile, with our 4 athletes sitting this one out, it is Yang in 4th place. Hwang, who we mentioned, defending world champion, he's in 3rd, and then Papaz and Denis Shook are sharing top spot. They're both on a total of 16, but the focus is on Norberg of Sweden, Park of the Republic of Korea.
And this finals format changed after Rio. It was different. It was very difficult to follow along if you were a spectator. You had a 25-shot semifinal where all 8 shooters shot 25 shots. The top 4 then went on to shoot for the medals.
There were medal matches, weren't there?
Yeah,
medal matches?
correct. Yeah, so when I shot this in 2015, I in the 25-shot semifinal, I was first. The guy from China, Hwang from China, was second. So we shot off for gold and silver, but you were guaranteed a medal at that point. And then the 3rd and 4th place guys shot off for bronze. And now they changed it, and I think it's more like the men's Olympic rapid fire format where you shoot so many shots, the lowest place guys eliminated, shoot another series, lowest place guys eliminated. It's easier to follow as a spectator. I think honestly it's just a better format than the old format. It was really difficult to follow. So it was a good change for sport pistol.
Norberg needs to hit this and hope Park misses. Norberg did hit it, but Park didn't miss, so Park will stay in the competition.
Yep.
And that does mean that Joachim Norberg, Rio 2016 Paralympic silver medalist, does leave the competition in 6th place with a total of 12 hits. He gave it a good go. Took 2 shoot-offs, 2 tie-breaking series to come to that decision. There he is, and he gets a nice round of applause from the audience here in Sydney. So just to go back onto what you're explaining, essentially you're happy with the way the
change.
format
Yeah,
changed.
definitely. It was a very difficult thing to follow as a spectator, even as a competitor. Sometimes we weren't always sure about exactly how the point system worked. It was just difficult.
That's good to hear, because sometimes you hear in lots of sports changes are made to benefit the audience. It could be even like the time that you play to suit a television audience on the other side of the world, and you hear grumbles quite often from athletes and competitors. So it's good to hear that something that's benefited both the athletes and the audience.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely a good change. I mean, I can tell you mentioned grumbles from the athletes about changes after London, and I didn't compete in London. I didn't start shooting this type of shooting until 2013. They changed the finals format where, the top 8 scores make the final. But previous to that, like in London and previously, if you had a score of, say, 582, like the top person here from China, and then the 8th place guy was 564, the top finisher would keep that advantage of 18 points. Which you'd go into the final with a huge advantage.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like sometimes the final was already decided. Now, if you make the final, it doesn't matter if you're 564 or 582, everybody starts from zero. And you hear a lot of the old timers that have shot for a long time, they're grumbling and they hated the change. I was relatively new to it in 2013. I loved it. I think it's the right way to go, because you look at track and field, for example, you look at track events when you run a semifinal. The person doesn't keep that 0.2 of a second or 0.3 of a second advantage going into the final. So
yeah, it's more exciting as well for the audience. So
exactly.
We have had 5th place come from his last 2 series, hitting 2-0. So he has been eliminated in 5th place. It was a good series for Zhang, the defending champion of everything, it seems. He is now in a 3-way tie at the top. So Papaz, who was leading the way all alone for quite some time, then he was sharing it with Denny Zook, now he's sharing it with Yuang as well. So Yang is in the danger zone, because we're edging closer to the medal positions.
Yeah,
he's 4th, but he's got a bit of work to do, isn't he?
He's 4 back. That's a very tall task to try and overcome that many. I mean, you need one of the top 3 guys to have a kind of a really bad round, and you gotta pretty much hit all 5 or at least 4.
So he's relying on others to mess up, but at the same time, does he really just need to concentrate on his own game?
Oh yeah, absolutely. You cannot worry about what anyone else is doing. You have to focus on it, only on yourself and what you need to do. If you start worrying about what everybody else is doing, you're not going to last very long.
Well, here we go. So this series is for 4th place, and after that, we've got 2 series left, potentially at least, and they will decide.
And if you remember correctly, there you go, Zhivko off to a good start. He's got one. If you remember what I said after the first series, when Huang from China and Denishuk from Ukraine didn't have very good starts, I said, yeah, they're pretty sure they're going to be there towards the end, and here they are.
Yeah.
There you go. Pop.
Teammate Yuang, but it is Yang Chao of the People's Republic of China who takes 4th place at this World Championship, as he bows to the audience here in Sydney.
So
he did
good.
take silver para Asian Games in 2018. Now, how do you think he's feeling about it? Because I always think 4th place is a funny one, isn't it? Because it's a great achievement. You're at World Championships, but at the same time, you're so close to that medal.
Yeah, I mean, as a competitor, obviously our goal is to get ourselves in a position to win a medal every time. We understand that it's probably not going to happen, but it's tough, but you can certainly build on it. I mean, he's an experienced shooter. He's been here before. You don't perform at your best every time, but I'm sure
he'll be back again.
He'll be back, no
again.
question. Yeah, he'll probably be back in a couple of days in the 10-meter air pistol final.
Yeah, sure.
To be honest with you,
we've not seen the last of him at this World Championships. And you said the word tough, and that is what it is out there right now, because we have Denizuk and Papaz sharing the lead, 21 each, but that's just one ahead of Huang in bronze spot. No hits in that.
No hits on the first one. it's interesting to watch from
They're
this
all on one
perspective. You know, you can see the competitors, you can see his eyes, watch where's his head position, because in this event you do not want to move your head in between shots. You see him looking at the monitor. It's probably not a good thing to be doing that, but you should really lock your head position and be focused only on picking up that front sight. As your arm raises, you're picking up the front sight, starting to squeeze that trigger, and
we have another shoot-off. That's Denny Zook, you can see on your screen there. He's okay. He's leading the way, and it's Swang, who you're talking about there on screen. He is in a shoot-off now against Papas. So look at Papas. He was leading for so long, and
for
now
a very long time.
He faces elimination.
Yeah.
22 each. So this is this, I mean, this is the lack of an athlete in me talking here probably, but is this a nice shoot-off to be in because you know you're going to leave with a medal? Or is it still just as tense as any other?
I don't know if any shoot-off is a nice shoot-off to be in. I'd rather be in Alexei's position and be out of that shoot-off pressure situation. But it's the sport. I mean, that's the beauty of the sport. I mean, you have to be prepared for these pressure situations. Not only is a final a pressure situation, but now you're in a final at a World Championships and you're in a shoot-off. That's about as good as it gets.
Well, this is a shoot-off for the bronze medal. Whoever stays in the competition will be 2 behind Denny Zook.
There you go, one hit from Papas.
He's in the lead, and he is up against, let's remind you, the
reigning world champion.
Reigning world champion,
gold medal winner
the Rio Paralympics.
Yeah, he's kind of good.
Asian Para Games champion.
Another hit, he's got 2 on him now.
So one more hit for Papas, and he's staying in.
Yeah, he's in. Huang has nothing, so he's staying in. He's got a. There you go.
Papas ends on 3. Huang ends on 1. His total was 22, and he takes the bronze medal away from Sydney here at the World Shooting Parasport Championships 2019. So that's our first medal. It's being decided here in Sydney. And it goes to Huang Xing of the People's Republic of China. So Papas remains in the competition. He'll do battle for the gold with Denny Zook. 2 hits separating them both. We've got 1 series left unless a shoot-off is required. And the way this final's been going,
there might be. Yeah, it might very well be. But, you know, like Dennis Zook is a friend of mine as well. And
you know both of these guys well, don't you?
Yeah, I know both of these guys.
Who are you rooting for?
Yeah, I'm not rooting for either one of them. I don't think I can take sides. But Alexei is generally in the final of pretty much all 3 events in 50 meter, 10 meter, 25 meter. Papas is a very good shooter. Not as frequent of a participant in the finals, but I'd like to see him do well, and he already has. But you know, I've had conversations with Alexei numerous times at different competitions and about how nervous you get. And you wouldn't guess it by looking at either of these guys that they're nervous. But, you know, Dennis Shook will tell you, yes, I'm very nervous on the inside. Papa's closing the gap here. He's only 1 behind. 3 more to go. Nope, it's decided.
So it will be Denny Zook of Ukraine taking the gold medal. There's still another shot to go. They both hit their final shot, and there you can see our gold medalist from Ukraine. It's Alexei Denizuk. He's a new world champion. He finished with a score of 27. Big cheers from the crowd here in Sydney, and that was 3 more than Zivko Papas of Serbia, who played a great final. He was leading throughout the majority
of it. He
takes the silver medal in 2nd place. And just a reminder, we saw the bronze medal go out just 1 series previously, and that went to Huang Xin of the People's Republic of China. So we are now 1 final in, 1 event in.
1 event in.
This World Championships. Yeah, how would you sum up this first final, Michael?
I would say with the amount of shoot-offs that we had, it was a very highly contested final. They did average about 27, close to 3 hits per round, and that's what you have to do really to be medal contention. So, yeah, these guys, it was a pretty tightly contested final.
It was indeed, as our final medalists are being introduced to the audience for the final time here in Sydney. Well, we will see them again here in person at least anyway, as they will be picking up their medals later on. But that's it for this first final on day one. There's a lot more to come from Sydney, so keep on our YouTube channel and the Facebook page, wherever you're watching this right now.
I'm sure the Serbian team will be celebrating with a little bit of rakia tonight. That's
rakia. Will you be joining them?
Yeah.
Or have you got more work to do? You've got more work to do.
Of course not. Of course not.
I'm
not going to be joining them. No.
So what's next for you here in Sydney?
Tomorrow we have pre-event training for I think P5 event. It's a 10-meter air pistol event.
Yeah. Lay off the Rakia. Lay off the Rakia just for now. Your time will come.
I'll let that to the Serbians.
Well, that's Michael Talia Pietra of the United States of America. Thank you, Mike, for joining me, mate, and thank you for the hand warmer.
Yeah, no worries. No worries. I'll bring you some more tomorrow.
Next one. Yeah, thank you. So that's all from this final. We will be back here in Sydney. Once again, there's a lot more to come from these World Championships. So thank you for joining us.
Ladies and gentlemen, the victory ceremony for the P3 Mix 25-meter pistol SH1. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your athletes. The medals will be presented by Dwayne Cale, Vice President of the International Paralympics Committee, accompanied by Kath Patel, President of Shooting Australia. The bronze. The silver medal representing Serbia, Živko Papas. The gold medalist and world champion representing Ukraine, Oleksiy. Ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem of Ukraine. And now we'll have an opportunity for photographs. Congratulations again to the medalists. We will now shortly have another victory ceremony for the P3 mix 25 meter pistol SH1 teams.
Just take one photo of you by yourself and with the logo on the podium.
Mix 25. Please welcome your athletes. The medals will be presented by Kath Patel, President of Shooting Australia, accompanied by Dwayne Cale, Vice President of the International Paralympics Committee. The bronze medals are awarded to Ukraine. Oleksiy Denisuk, Irina Liaku, Andrei Zagvatavyev. The silver medals are awarded to the People's Republic of China. Huang Xing, Yang Chao, Li Min. Awarded to the Republic of Korea. Park Chul, Kim Jung Nam, So Yong Kyun. Ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem of the Republic of Korea. Ladies and gentlemen, the World Championship medalists will now take the opportunity for photographs. Congratulations once again to the medalists. Ladies and gentlemen, the next final will be the R3 Mix 10 meter air rifle prone SH1, and it will begin at 6:45 for the next final.